Donations to the NRA tripled after the Parkland, Florida high school shooting. This is obviously disturbing for a lot of people. In Karamo, you have a very close connection to Parkland. Can you elaborate?
I actually graduated from that high school. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas is my high school. Wow. So when I saw this happen, it hurt my soul. But to hear even more facts that the NRA, the donations have spiked, is really shocking to me. The fact that these NRA members feel that threatened that they are donating so much.
Yeah, I read that people feel like after mass shootings, because this happens after every mass shooting.
Statistically, the numbers spike.
So afterwards, a lot of NRA members feel like it's the same as when they give to the Red Cross after a terrible hurricane or something happens. And so it's just, there's such
they feel
a
the need
for it
more than ever then, right?
There was something that Joe Kennedy said that I thought was really interesting. He said that there was 5 million NRA members and there are 320 voting Americans or people in the country. So they are not the giant we make them out to be. So even though so even though it's spiked,
they're a loud minority.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Danielle. You used that term before, the loud minority. I mean, so I read that $50 million, that's how much they put into this last campaign. And I'm like, that's not a lot of money. $50 million, when I say that, put it in relation to all the other companies that are out there. Like, why can't, I feel like, I mean, obviously someone has to have $50 million or several companies, but companies like Apple or Google, or they can afford that. Starbucks, they can afford that. So it's like, can we come together and replace that $50 million that our lawmakers are getting? I mean, like you said, the loud minority, they're not a large group. They're not as powerful. It's just the fact that they're unified and together. And $50 million to politics, that's not a lot.
You're right, that's a great point. And the Stoneman Douglas kids are actually, I think that's part of what they're saying is like, we're not going to take money. We're not going to be owned by anybody because we can actually raise $50 million.
Yeah, Karamo, being so close to this situation, having been a Parkland grad where this awful tragedy occurred, everybody has a stance on kind of how they would like to see maybe gun control be monitored or maybe see some changes. Do you have a specific change that you'd like to see in general?
Yeah, of course. I think it's just, if we talk about children, they can't get their license until they're 16. And, to get a gun license at 18 is an issue. We need to really be focusing on changing these small things. And I think what the NRA or people who own guns or have an issue and think that we're trying to go against their Second Amendment is that we're not. We're just trying to say, let's make some sensible reform.
Sensible.
This is, sensible. This is not going against your rights. This is protecting our families.
Yeah, common sense gun laws.
Common sense.
Everybody
take a deep breath about the greatest performer of all time, all right? Like, seriously.
Just let him get through it.
I do love Beyonce. Let's be very clear. I love Beyonce. But we have to make sure we remember that the numbers don't match up of the numbers that what Michael Jackson has sold versus what Beyonce has sold. Also, Beyonce is doing Michael Jackson moves. So you can't say that she is the greatest when she is taking from the greatest.
Keep him on a one shot. Keep him on a one shot. Keep going, Karamo. You're nailing it.
No, I feel like Felicia's going. I feel like Felicia's coming. I'm ready for
one shot for Felicia. One shot for Felicia. The clap back.
Secretary of the Beehive, the national headquarters of the Beehive. No, actually, this is going to shock you, but this conversation, this debate irks the heck out of me.
What?
It annoys the heck out of me because I don't understand why we have to compare the two. Like, I would never have this debate. I don't think it should be in the same category. I completely feel that it's two separate things. So it actually annoys me, even though, I love me some Beyonce.
Right.
I really like Michael Jackson too.
So
and so it really irks me that we even have this.
Let me ask you this. If you have tickets and this is a dream world where Michael Jackson is in his prime, you and Teddy are offered 2 tickets front row to see Michael Jackson in his prime or Beyonce, who's obviously right now in her prime as well. Who are you going to see?
I'm going to see Michael Jackson. I've actually never seen Michael Jackson live.
There you go.
But I've seen Beyonce in Chicago, Atlanta, and Miami. And so, I would have loved to have gotten a chance to see Michael Jackson. Because I hear his shows, like, these are performers. That's the difference. Like, these are performers. There are a lot of good singers. There are a lot of good dancers. These people have it all.
If you gave me that option, I would have seen Beyonce. I'm not going to lie to you.
Really?
Yeah.
What's happening here?
Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's not the greatest, but I'm saying if those 2 options came at both of them in their prime, there's something about Beyonce and a hair flip. Maybe it's the gay man in me. That, honey, I need it.
I almost think like Beyonce's better in concert and Michael's better just like listening all the time.
Agreed.
It's hard to say because I never saw Michael Jackson live, but of course from all the videos and the live performances that I have seen, well, in terms of like,
let's give Jordan a chance. Everyone's giving
I'm
a
just
chance.
saying I've never seen Michael Jackson
Get
live.
over it,
so
you
I'm
got
I've
it.
seen Michael Jackson in concert. Have you, Karamo, had a chance to see him?
have.
I watched people literally collapse at looking at this mythical
They
figure
do that for
on
Beyonce.
stage. Well, not to the
Backstreet
degree,
Boys.
not to the degree they've done it with
And insane.
Michael Jackson was like this otherworldly person. And yes, Beyonce's on her way to making it there, but Michael Jackson, I mean, Beyonce's doing something Michael Jackson did. Let's take it to a sports world for just 1 second, because I know I'll lose you guys. People wanted to compare LeBron James to our Michael Jordan here in
Right.
Chicago. You can't do
careful.
it. You can't do it. Like, you can enjoy LeBron, like Felicia's saying. You can enjoy Beyonce, but don't put it in a category of Michael Jordan. Don't put this one in the category of Michael Jackson. Like,
Interesting.
let her be great without putting her in comparison to the greatest to
Well,
ever
that's what
breathe.
Felicia said.
Yeah,
I
and that's
agree
what I'm
with
saying.
you,
I
yeah.
think it's,
I'm
it's
just
a
saying
great
if there's
point.
tickets were presented in front of me, I'm going
I
to go see
can't
Beyonce.
believe you're doing that.
Can I have the other one? 'Cause I'm with you.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, of
believe
course,
you're
we
doing
saw
that.
Michael Jackson like at the Super Bowl. Like, we've seen him live, but a concert, I haven't had that experience, so it's tough for me to say. But I mean, I would love to see him.
Karamo, you let me down, all right? We still got a lot of show. We got a lot of show left. All right, for now, we're going to send it over to Krista Green for some online action on this one.
Yeah, you guys, let's remember that this all stems from Beyonce's Coachella performance, which was absolutely unreal. But like you all said, we're comparing her to the King of Pop, who I also have never seen live, but I could imagine. So who is the GOAT, the GOAT? Who is the greatest of all time? Today we're asking on social media, has Beyonce surpassed Michael Jackson as the greatest performer of all time? Are you Team B? Are you Team MJ? Vote now using these emojis on the Jam social media, and we'll be checking in all morning. You guys, I know Felicia's a big fan, but we're talking about Michael Jackson. He invented the moonwalk.
Killed it.
Killed
That
it.
was a good one.
Sometimes
That was a good one.
Chris has to remind you who she is sometimes.
Pulled it
So I'm
out.
talking about G.
We
Ream.
must have forgotten.
All right, according to a new study, the average American utters their first curse word at 10 effing 54 a.m. When do you curse for the first time each day?
Okay, I have to turn this back on you because we've talked about this before. You curse the minute you wake
The
up.
minute I wake up, everybody's got a go-to curse word. Mine is the 4-letter F word.
Yeah.
And every time that alarm goes off, as loud as humanly possible, with my girlfriend laying next to me, completely asleep, and my dog,
so upset.
you get that really loud F word.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
like,
how
I
you know it's rough.
can't believe
Yeah.
I'm always excited to come in and do the show. At 4 a.m., there is nobody least excited
Yeah.
when I get out of that bed. It's hard for me. That's where my
I
curse
gotta
word
tell you,
comes.
the B word is my go-to word, not Beyonce, the other B word. I don't know, it's something in gay culture. It's like that word can be the punctuation for so much. It's like B, B, B. You know, so we just keep going. We just keep going with it. And I start that probably the minute that my children are out the house for school. It's like I'm now free to be myself. I
Does
no
it ever
longer.
slip?
No, it doesn't slip.
Oh,
I'm
so
pretty
you're a
good
better
with it. I'm
father
pretty
than
good,
I am.
yeah.
I've lost it. I've lost the word a couple times in front of
So
me. I'm
I
not proud.
practice because I never want to like say the wrong word on TV. So you guys hear me a lot of times. I say fudge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When we
Fudge.
first met, we made fun of you for that.
I know.
But now I say it, it's sort of like contagious.
And it's a weird balance because she'll use fudge sometimes when you least expect it, and then the actual word will come when you least expect it, so you never know.
What do you mean the actual word? I would never.
Alicia's like, I'm a lady.
Danielle, what's yours?
She
Do you have
pulls it
one?
out. Yeah, I
And
like.
when does it come?
I like the F word, and I just throw it out randomly. I tried not to swear because I feel like it sort of like sometimes diminishes your credibility, but
Sure.
it just really slips out, and sometimes it really like punctuates what you're saying.
Yes.
Well, I
You
will
know?
say this. My parents always taught me it's a sign of true ignorance if you rely on curse words because it shows your lack of command of the English language. I've really failed them. I really, truly failed them there. I think we should all, on the count of 3, hit them with the F word right now. You ready?
Yes.
3, 2,